Hello and welcome to the first set of month ahead readings. I am Sam, Witch of the Woods, and we are going to start doing these every month for all groups of signs. So air signs, earth signs, water signs, and fire signs. This one is dedicated to the water signs, and we are going to do the month ahead for August 2022. Before we dive in, as everyone says, who's responsible on the internet anyway? Take what resonates, leave the rest. I will give you my spiel, which I gave everyone, which is if you hear something today that you don't like, throw it away. We all have free will. Nothing is set in stone. And you can log off here today and go, fuck everything that girl just said, because energy is malleable. And this is just a read of the energy right now. That's why we have all kinds of manifestation methods dedicated to changing the energy. Too many jumped out. We can't read all those. So what I want to know is, Spirit, what do my water signs that will see this need to know for August 2022? What do we need to know? Well, that one flips. We'll keep that one to the side. What are the water signs who will see this need to know for August 2022? All right, so, no, I'm going to wait to read the jumper, or the flipper. So, my water signs, I feel like we're in this energy right now of really feeling like we are ready to, I was going to say make the next jump, but no. I feel like water signs, it's like you've already taken this big step. You feel like you are really mastering, maybe not mastering, but like everything, you're managing things really well. You're managing things and kind of taking hold and responsibility and accountability for like your collective shit more than ever before. And so it feels really really good, really encouraging. And like you can pat yourself on the back because it feels like you're managing this in a way that is really new, and it's almost like it feels a little foreign because you're surprising yourselves. There's this energy of, again, I feel like in a lot of ways, a lot of you have almost like a calm assurance about what you're doing moving forward. I forgot to show you. It's the Emperor. And you have support. You have the people at your side who are going to champion you and help you continue this really good energy you've kind of created for yourself and help catapult you into whatever the next adventure or the next phase is. So awesome. That's really cool for a lot of you to be there right now. So pat yourselves on the back. It hasn't been for a lack of due diligence. So again, it's being acknowledged. Like, you have put forth the effort and time and energy. You've earned everything that you have managed for yourself right now. Outstanding. Things running upstairs. Anyway, so what you need to focus on this month, this is the Nine of Swords. Now, all is not lost, or yeah, all is not lost, because again, swords get a bad rap. I said this to another group earlier. It's not about being stressed out this month. It's about managing your stress, managing your overthinking and your mental stories. Just be careful that you're doing some really good things for yourself. You've set up a lot of really good systems or routines or practices for yourself, which is why you're in a pretty decent space right now. Don't let those little things creep in and knock you off your path. This is about managing those mental stories. You've come a really long way, and sometimes It's just the last little bits working themselves out. Also, give yourself a break when you need to. Be really honest with yourself. Really try to tune in and tap into your body. Be really honest when you need a break. More mentally than anything else is what I'm getting. And give yourself a chance to rest. I feel like that is actually a struggle for a lot of you, giving yourself a chance to rest and relax, or even if I feel like also some of you might go through the motions of rest and relaxing, but you have trouble really settling into a space where it's like rejuvenating and recuperating, because sometimes, maybe your body's at rest, let's say, but your mind is going a million miles a minute. So, trying to ease the burden of over analysis and of self-doubt, and again, just those stories that kind of creep in. And I feel like because a lot of you are doing this really great work, it's mostly like the last vestiges of it. So like, don't let your guard down. Don't let your guard down yet. For everything you're doing right now, this is the Knight of Pentacles. So you've got all these great systems, or again, routines, practices, whatever in place, and these are helping you really handle your day-to-day stuff, and that is awesome, and that is what you should be continuing to keep up. If there's anything that's not working for you, or like, take a step back, assess, and like just weed out anything that's not working for you. Anything that isn't really like adding to the picture, anything that doesn't bring you joy. Excuse me. Anything that you don't think is anything you think is maybe a little superfluous, because you really do have all the tools you need right now. You've got these great resources. You've got a nice solid foundation, and what you're doing is, and I think I've said this to every group because I really do see it, is this month is about keeping your eye on the prize, because you've got big stuff you're doing for yourself. There's big energy coming through. There's breakthroughs coming through, and this is a bit of a slow and steady wins the race kind of energy, and like being patient and diligent and applying yourself with persistence and consistence. So that's kind of the goal, and it's totally doable, water signs. It's totally doable. I have faith in you. Now we have here the Nine of Cups. So just something to watch out for. Nine of Cups is a great, great card. This is cautioning you, though, to not get complacent, because I feel like, again, because things are like really coming into a space of like where things are starting to gel, but I feel like for whatever the various projects or manifestations or situations are that you're managing in your life right now, you've made a lot of headway, and the message is to just not get complacent, because you're seeing kind of like the results, or you're seeing evidence of everything you are putting forth, whether it's, physically, mentally, emotionally, spiritually, whatever it is. And sometimes if we start seeing those things, we can kind of back off or get like a little lackadaisical thinking, like, oh, okay, well, this momentum has already been created. It's just kind of got a life of its own. It's going to take off now. And when we've been doing it a while, that can be true. But for where the energy's at right now, it's not time to back off yet. Again, it's that energy of like persistence and being consistent and like making steady progress, So it's like, keep applying yourself. Don't think the race is over yet. You're getting there, and you can be the Nine of Cups, but not just yet. Now is not a time to rest on our laurels, as it were. So, have the Seven of Wands here. Now, I feel like a lot of you will take that in and will take that to heart, which is awesome, which is super great. And those of you that do, if you're able to do that, if you're able to kind of like, again, hold the vision and keep persisting, I think overall it's going to feel like an uphill battle to some people, because some of us more than others are very impatient, and that's okay. I get it. I think my lesson on this earth overall is to learn patience. Some of this is going to feel a little bit, again, like a little chaotic, a little bit of an uphill battle, and I feel like most of you water signs are going to be able to kind of keep on keeping on, you know, and not for lack of frustration, not for lack of, you know, annoyance or like inconvenience, but I think a lot of you are going to come out on top, essentially. And what this is kind of just giving you a heads up about is that, you know, some stuff is going to get wonky, and just be prepared for stuff getting wonky. That doesn't mean it's not happening. That doesn't mean things aren't coming through for you. It doesn't mean you're doing it wrong even. It's just sometimes it takes shit getting wonky for stuff to right itself, you know. I think I gave this example in another reading earlier too. You know, like when you go to clean, like hardcore clean a room in your house or something, and it gets way messier before it gets better. It's kind of like that. So things might get a little weird before it gets better, but I feel like a lot of you are gonna, like, again, come out on top. That's what I keep getting. Got the Queen of Wands here, and what I have here with the Queen of Wands is so we said don't get complacent earlier. With the Queen of Wands, this is saying to us now not to, it's not get complacent. No, oh my gosh, the word is on the tip of my tongue. Holy crap. To not get overly full of ourselves yet. And it's not saying that you can't feel good about yourself. It's not saying you can't feel confident in yourself or your abilities and amazing about the progress you've made. It's not that, but it ties into that not getting complacent, because sometimes that complacence can come from an inflated sense of confidence, which can turn to arrogance. It's like, oh, I've got this. Like, I don't need to do an XYZ anymore because, like, I've just mastered it, you know? And again, there's a time and place for that, but for this time and place, it's not the time for that. Because that is not going to serve the day-to-day or mundane things that need to be done to propel this energy forward, propel your projects forward, and propel your timeline forward, really. So just something to bear in mind. Two of Pentacles. I also feel like a lot of you water signs this month are going to be faced with some of you might be at like a legitimate crossroads, but I think for a lot of you it's going to be just this sense of like, just remember you have options. Just remember you always have choice. And that's something I think that we forget a lot of the time, is that it's very easy to feel stuck. Remember that you always have choice, and embrace the idea that you always have choices in things. And this speaks to, you know, manifestation stuff also. And I mean, I've mentioned manifestation a lot in each of these, and I guess it's just because it's this really fiery energy of Leo season or August, whatever. But since we are co-creators of our destinies, you know, we always have the choice as to where we want to channel our energy and what we want to focus on and what we want to look at. So, and again, the thing is that I feel like you've actually been doing a pretty good job of managing this, because you've managed to get here, and things are, the waves have kind of like turned in your favor, even if they don't always feel like it. But just something to bear in mind. You always have choice, and also make sure you're striking balance in all areas of your life. You're not overextending yourself mentally, or you're not overextending yourself physically. And, I always think work-life balance when this comes up, but it's balance in all aspects, not, spending equal time with, a partner and, family, or spending equal time. That's the only one I can think of. Sorry. You get what I'm putting down. I know you do. This has come up for everybody, I think, the moon. So, one thing that you can do this month, if you are feeling in need of support, water signs, is you can always go within. We all have, a lot of us have safety nets or support systems around us, which is awesome and great if you do have that. But I feel like, and that has been a theme for, I think, a lot of people. But in this case, in your case this month, water signs, this is about going inward and finding that, like, finding your inner divine as support for when you feel like you need support, and calling upon the divinity within you for encouragement, or a pat on the back, or love, or inspiration. This is about going inside and really being honest with what comes through and not bullshitting yourself, essentially. Easier said than done, but doable, because you've already done a hell of a lot of work. And here we have the Knight of Cups. This is the last card we have, the Knight of Cups. And the Knight of Cups just wants to encourage making sure you're still following your bliss and following what makes you happy, and not getting sucked into the mundane. And I know we talked about making sure that you're not, that you're doing your due diligence in the mundane, but it's, again, and this actually goes back to the whole striking balance thing. Yes, it's doing those things, but it's not losing sight of what makes you happy and what fills your cup up and what makes you able to give to others and pour into other things that you do care about and are important to you. This is saying, don't forget what makes you happy, because I feel kind of more than anyone else this month, water signs, like there's just a real drive to like get shit done in a very, again, like this earthly realm kind of way, and that's awesome. It's applying like a lot of like leg work and elbow grease and that kind of thing, and checking things off the list, but like, just make sure you're having fun. Make sure you're enjoying the process. Yes, make sure you're enjoying the process. All of this spiritual shit, it's supposed to be fun. It's supposed to be fun. Most of it's supposed to be fun. Shadow work isn't fun sometimes, but the whole thing, it's like, enjoy the ride while you're on it. And I think that is where we'll end, because that is the last card. So thank you very much, water signs, for joining me. If this resonated for you, please drop a comment below or hit the like button. Please hit the subscribe button if you want to get notifications for when these go up. I'm going to be doing them every month, and I'm also going to be trying to do every week for all the different groups. If you ever want to book a one-on-one reading with me, you can also look at my link below in the description, and I hope to see you next time. Bye.